64K. Where the future is so bright you gotta wear shades.
So today we're going to jump back to the year 1991. The arcade scene was going from strength to strength, with cabinets getting bigger and better literally every day. On the big screen we had one of the best sequels ever made, Terminator 2.
Hasta la vista, baby.
And Robin Hood, Prince of Thieves had one of the most mental performances of the late Alan Rickman's career.
Cancel the kitchen scraps for lepers and orphans. No more merciful beheadings. And call off Christmas.
I was still playing my Commodore 64 and my new Japanese Famicom with all those crazy import games, as Sonic the Hedgehog made his debut, and I started hoarding my money for the inevitable Mega Drive purchase at Christmas that year. On a more serious note, notorious serial killer Jeffrey Dahmer was finally caught after murdering 17 people and cannibalizing most of them, which led me and my high school friend on a not so serious note to make what has to be the most wildly inaccurate and amateurish serial killer movie ever made about Dahmer for a school project. It was called Apartment 211 and featured Dahmer with a South African accent.
Hi, I'm finally in contact with the apartment select. Yes, my name's Jeffrey Dahmer.
Really bad funky gore effects, and me as one of the worst hosts ever put on video. 1991 was such a blast. Which brings us to today's game, Nam-1975, released in 1990 by SNK for the Neo Geo MVS arcade and AES home system. This was the first Neo Geo game I'd ever seen or played, and by 1991 their multi-arcade cabinets were invading local establishments left, right and center. Even though it came out the previous year in Japan, the Neo Geo brand was now popping up all over, not just in arcades but in every gaming magazine I was reading at the time. I played this game at the same arcade I featured in episode 1, the base of Malvern Heights Apartments in Queensborough, South Africa. They rotated new games through that place pretty regularly, and the day I walked in to see Nam, they also had a full cabinet version of hard driving sitting right next to it, which everyone was drooling over. But as soon as I turned my head and saw that iconic splash screen, which was obviously Animal Mother from Full Metal Jacket, blasting away as the logo appeared, I beelined it straight for the cabinet, which was one of the multi-cabs.
Here I am, peoples, just hanging out at the factory where they make these Neo Geo multi-video systems. Now what these things are is that you can play 4 different games on this machine,
which also included Magician Lord and Baseball Stars, but Nam was the one for me. This game was a shooting gallery style blast fest that managed to combine all my favorite arcade games, Operation Wolf, Cable and Dynamite Duke, into a weird Vietnam War setting. To say this game is historically inaccurate is an understatement, but who cares, right? It's an arcade game after all, and all that matters is how much stuff you get to blow up. It featured 6 stages of relentless blasting action as you attempt to rescue a scientist and his daughter from some dodgy terrorist organization in Vietnam. This is one of the first arcade games that I can remember that actually attempts a real storyline, but due to the dodgy translation and the Resident Evil style voiceovers,
New operations have been wanted.
it just comes across as unintentionally funny in the best sense. The game scrolls left to right as you blast and dodge everything that's thrown at you. Grenades and flamethrowers are also available for pickup. As well, if you rescue the captured woman, they join you and help you out, which is a very cool inclusion. The game, however, is insanely difficult, and I can't even remember how much money I pumped into this thing back in the day. But playing it with a friend in the 2-player mode makes it slightly more possible. The combination of massive, bold graphics and cheeseball storyline, with its excellent, satisfying sound effects and crazy bosses, make this an arcade experience that I still look back on fondly. This game is fortunately available on almost all modern gaming formats digitally, so being able to try it out for yourself is made pretty easy. So why not jump back and check out the roots of Neo Geo with one of the original arcade releases. And thanks for joining me, Bastish B at 64K. If you can like and subscribe, that would be greatly appreciated, and I'll see you next time. Cheers.